Good morning, everybody. I'm Tlish, and you're watching Coffee and Clicks. Um, I just wanted to thank everybody that's viewing on YouTube, at home, or wherever you are viewing Coffee and Clicks and tuning in every so often. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy my content and enjoy today's episode of Coffee and Clicks. Hi, you're watching Coffee and Clicks. My name's Tlish, and let's get started. Today we have a special video. It is about Veterans Day. It's celebrating Veterans Day. We're going to do the top 11 soldiers in modern Heroclix. Top 11 with a few honorable mentions. So, because I really couldn't decide on a few of them. There are so many good soldiers in Heroclix. It's a great keyword. And the reason why we're doing top 11 is because Veterans Day falls on November 11th. It was chosen as November 11th because of Armistice Day, the end of World War One. I looked it up, and it says that Veterans Day used to be Armistice Day, and that it was chosen because World War One ended on the 11th hour of November 11th, and that's why they chose that date for Armistice Day, which is now known as Veterans Day. So let's get right into it. We're going to look at the top 11 soldiers in HeroClix. Um, just my opinion. I mean, obviously these are not official. The official top 11 is just in my opinion, but hopefully we'll get to take a look at some great figures. This is not one of them. I have Uncle Sam up here, but he's just where just he's just there for flavor. But we're going to actually look at the top 11 right now. So let's get right into it. The first, these are in, I put them in order. So starting at number 11 is the LE Winter Soldier from ABPI, from Avengers Black Panther and the Illuminati. So let's look him up. There he is. Okay, so he is a limited edition LE from ABPI, Avengers Black Panther and the Illuminati. He is the Winter Soldier. He comes in at 70 points. He has the Hydra and Shield keywords. Um, he is a well, no, sorry, Hydra and Shield team ability. He has the keywords Assassin, Hydra, Shield, Soldier, Spy, and Thunderbolts. This is a really fun piece. He has Running Shot, Energy Explosion on his first click, Toughness, and he has a special power. His special power is Eliminating Targets, Ranged Combat Expert, and Range. Make up to two range attacks. So, he can combo that range with his running shot. So he can running shot and then make two vanilla range attacks. Or he can use energy explosion, running shot, energy explosion. Or he can use, if he's not using running shot, he can use range combat expert. Or if he's tied up with somebody, he can use close combat expert, because his trait cybernetic arm says close combat expert super senses, but only succeeds on a 6. So he can use close combat expert if he's tied up. So this guy is very versatile. He also targets through hindering. So he ignores hindering for targeting. So I really like him. Definitely a fun Winter Soldier to use. There's a lot of cool Winter Soldiers out there, but that's definitely a fun one to use. So that is my number 11 soldier. Let's take a look at number 10. Number 10 is, let's bring it up. Phil Coulson, 018 from the Captain Marvel movie Gravity Feed. He has the Avengers Initiative and Shield team abilities. He has 6 range. He has 12 speed with a special ability, 11 attack with Incapacitate, 17 toughness, and 3 damage with leadership. And that leadership is really good, that he has leadership. He also has tradecraft tokens that he can use. He has a trait, Espionage, Mankind's Shield. Phil Coulson starts the game with 5 tradecraft tokens. Free, remove a tradecraft token to choose a standard damage power for Phil Coulson to use until your next turn. So he can pick Outwit, Perplex, anything he needs that's a damage power, prob. He has another trait, Hard Light Shield, built into the hand. Energy Shield Deflection, so he has traded Energy Shield Deflection, so that makes him even tougher. Free, remove a tradecraft token to choose an adjacent character until your next turn. That character can use Energy Shield Deflection if they are adjacent to Phil Coulson. I used to like to use him when the boxing ring was still legal, because you can move him into the boxing ring and move other characters into the boxing ring, and then give them Energy Shield Deflection and have a really good first turn, moving everybody into the boxing ring. Because as you'll see in his next ability, the speed ability, he has Zephyr 1, Stealth, Movement, Passenger, Flying, and Passengers 4. Phil Coulson does not modify his speed value from the use of carry ability. So you can carry around 4 guys. The only qualm I have about his carrying ability is that even though he is flying and that gives him mobility, he cannot carry flyers. But I guess I'm a little spoiled that way, because a lot of taxis out there right now can carry flyers as well as non-flyers. He cannot carry flyers, but he can carry 4 guys. So he can carry 4 characters or 4 figures around with his Zephyr 1 ability. And he has stealth. And he has a stop click. So he has a lot of defensive powers that make him hard to kill. He has a stop click where he removes the tradecraft tokens and heals him that many clicks. Very similar to Black Widow. He also has toughness. He also has ESD. And he also has stealth. Really good figure. He has great keywords other than soldier. He also has shield and Avengers. Really nice figure, Phil Coulson. I really liked him. Let's take a look at number 9, shall we? So there is Sheriff Steve Rogers. He has I like him a lot, especially in the current Vulture landscape that we have going on here, because Vulture is kind of king, or one of the kings of competitive. He's a very viable. I wouldn't say he's king, but Vulture is really good in the meta right now. Sheriff Steve Rogers, he has running shot, he has ESD, and he has a special where he has leadership. And when Sheriff Steve Rogers or an adjacent friendly character is attacked, the attacker cannot positively modify or replace their attack value. So really good against Vulture, really good against other pieces as well that use Perplex. And he has the police team ability, which is copyable. So, if you're playing like Spider-Man Family or something like that, you can copy his police team ability and use that to your advantage. He has the Battle World, the Valley, Past, Police, and Soldier keywords. He comes in at 50 points. I really like Sheriff Steve Rogers. I want to mention also that I left off the other Steve Rogers from this list, and I left off Spider-Man 1776 from this list because they are obviously really good, but they are keyword manipulating figures. And for this list, I wanted to do just soldier keyworded figures. And I know Spider-Man 1776, if you're playing him, usually you're not playing a soldier theme team. You're usually playing a Spider-Man family theme team. And also with Steve Rogers, you're usually playing a Shield or Avengers theme team. So I made them honorable mentions, but I did not put them on the list of the top 11. All right, so let's take a look at, that was number 9. Let's take a look at number 8. Here is number 8. It is the AIM Red Squad. I find this figure to be very useful. He's only 20 points. All the AIM squad members are very useful, but this is the only one that has the soldier keyword. And yeah, he's very useful because, first of all, he has sidestep. So if you need to go get an object and equip it to somebody, he's a 20-point figure that has sidestep. Also, he has the AIM, Avengers, Hydra, and Soldier keywords. He has 4 range. He has toughness. And then when he comes into the game, his trait, Security and Tactics Division. At the beginning of the game, for all characters with this trait, choose Empower or Enhancement, and they can use the power this game. If they are part of a named theme team, you can choose both. So I guess if you're playing a Soldier theme team, you're not choosing both. But if you are using him on an Avengers theme team or an AIM or a Hydra theme team, then or even a Spider-Man family theme team nowadays, then you can use both in power and enhancement. But other than that, you just pick one. But that's fine. 20 points for an enhancement is great, and sidestep, and 20 points for sidestep and power is also really good. So for a 20-point figure, you can't go wrong with AIM Red. Let's take a look at number 7. That was number 8. Let's take a look at number 7. Number 7 soldier is Crimson Avenger. Okay, so here we have Crimson Avenger. He is 30 points, and he's a prime. He's an uncommon prime. He has Stealth, Poison, ESD, and Perplex on his first click. He has the keywords All-Star, Squadron, Justice League, Martial Artist, Past, 7 Soldiers, and Soldier keywords. His real name is Lee Travis. He has a Justice League Unlimited trait, which we've seen before, where you remove a token from a friendly character with the Justice League keyword that's 100 points or less if you roll a 6 at the beginning of your turn. Then he has a trait that says Knockout Gas. Smoke Cloud as free, but only to generate 4 markers. Now this is really good. This is what makes him special. When Crimson Avengers uses it after resolutions, choose an opposing character. And is that ESD? No, that's combat reflexes. I misspoke. That it looks like ESD with the coloring, but that's actually combat reflexes that he has. When Crimson Avenger uses his smoke cloud after resolutions, choose an opposing character occupying or adjacent to one of his smoke cloud markers and give that character an action token. So you're giving somebody an action token without fail, as long as you activate that free action. There's no dice roll associated with it. You just give them an action token, and that is really good. Not only that, but he has stealth, he has poison, and he has perplex. And if you try to hit him close, he's got that combat reflexes, which also makes him very hard to kill. Stealth and combat reflexes combined make somebody very hard to kill because you can't shoot them and you can't punch them. For 30 points, he is very annoying. You might not want to expend your resources to attack him and gain and get that 30 points, because it might not be worth it. You might want to go after somebody bigger or that's more points. And so then Crimson Avenger just becomes a nuisance, and he's a very good piece. So there you go. That's Crimson Avenger. He also is very good on martial artist theme teams. But yeah, he has lots of keywords there, and one of them is Soldier. So that was number 7. Let's look at number 6. Number 6 is Josiah X. So there is Josiah X, and he is he's a common prime, so this is another prime. He's 50 points. He has charge, 9 speed, charge, 18 defense with invulnerable. He has willpower. He's indomitable. He's got a 3 damage with a special power. His special power is called the Crew. And power, friendly characters that are adjacent or share a keyword with Josiah X can reduce penetrating damage. And there are other soldiers that have invulnerable or invincible, no, or impervious or toughness that could use the ability to reduce that penetrating damage. So his other keywords are warrior and scientist. So if you're playing a scientist team or a warrior team, you can also use that ability to make friendly characters that share a keyword reduce penetrating damage. But of course it works also if you just have them adjacent to him. And then he also has Empower. So he's quite a value for 50 points. And you'll see some other figures in this list that he works very well with. So that was number 6. Let's take a look at number 5. We're getting down to the top 5. Here is Captain Marvel from the Captain Marvel movie Gravity Feed. So this is not the Captain Marvel that maybe you were expecting, but this is another really good Captain Marvel. She's a chase. She's got 8 range with 2 targets. She's got the Avengers Initiative team ability. For those of you who don't know what that means, it's similar to the Superman ally team ability. You can see through hindering, and you can also move through hindering. She's 150 points. She's got a special click at the end there, which we'll talk about. And she's flying. She's got 12 speed with a special power. She's got 11 attack with penetrating psychic blast, and she's got 18 defense with invincible and 4 damage with leadership. Let's see, the trait energy absorption. When Captain Marvel takes 2 or more damage from a single attack, after resolutions, note her current click number and then turn her to click 11, which is that special click at the end. If she would be KO'd, she can't be turned to click 11. So that last click there gives her hypersonic speed, pulse wave, and a 20 defense, which is crazy, and 12 attack with pulse wave, and 5 damage. So that's insane. And she gets a click to that, and then she goes back afterwards. But yeah, so it gives her like a super power up where she becomes like binary or something. She becomes insanely powerful. She absorbs the energy absorption, right? And then the second trait is Kree supremacy, cosmic awareness. Friendly characters that are adjacent or have the Kree keyword have protected opposing probability control. If a friendly character is both adjacent and has the Kree keyword, it can use probability control, but only to target itself. Okay, so actually I haven't, whenever I use her, I kind of forget about that trait, so that's actually a cool trait. Let's take a look at what else she has. She has a movement, the speed power is strafing run. Moves through characters, running shot. When Captain Marvel uses it, after resolutions, she may use charge at no cost, but can't target the same character. So she can actually running shot, and she can go all the way across the board, because you can actually running shot and target nobody currently in with the Heroclix rules. You can target nobody. You can just running shot and have no target, or you can running shot and break a piece of blocking terrain, and then you can charge afterwards, which is pretty cool. So if you give her like the octopus arms for flurry, you can running shot across the board, then move 6, running shot, then move another 6. You can move 12, potentially move 12 squares, and then have a giant reach of 2 with flurry, and hit for like 8 damage, 12 squares away. And obviously if you have a target for the running shot, you can do that too. It doesn't say you have to hit with your running shot. Just says when she uses it after resolution, she may use charge at no cost, and that is really insane. So she can deal a lot of damage there. Um, then her defense power on her 11th click is supercharged, impervious, colossal stamina. At the end of your turn, or if Captain Marvel would be KO'd, return her to her most recently noted click number. Um, protected outwit pulse wave. Okay. So yeah, this is a really cool Captain Marvel, and I think like PJ mentioned that she would be a really good choice for the Galactus Herald, because that would give her power cosmic, and she definitely needs protected outwit. This is one of the figures that needs protected outwit. She has the Avengers, Cosmic, Kree, Shield, and Soldier keywords, so she's really good. I like her a lot. That was number 5. Let's take a look at number 4. And number 5 actually might be, this one might be higher than number 4, but actually number 4 is really good, and I think he is. A lot of people don't realize that he's good, and I've been hearing a lot of other people tell me how good he is, and I'm starting to agree with him. Agree with them. So the number 4 is um, Cable from X-Men the Animated Series, and he is a uncommon. Um, but he is really good. Um, so he has, you see, he has kind of a weird dial there. He has the Future, Soldier, and X-Men keywords. He has 75 points, but you can pay an extra 25 points to get 2 copies of him, which is why there's another dial there that's the 1 and the 2. Um, the one and the click 1 and 2 at the end there, those are his copies, because you can start the game with 3 copies of him, and if you pay 100 points instead of 75. So for 100 points you get 3 of him. The speed power is get to a better vantage point, sidestep, and phasing teleport, which is really good by itself. And then there's an attack power, once per turn for all characters with this power, telekinesis as free, which is really good because you could be TKing them all over the board. Free telekinesis is always really good. He can TK. Obviously, you could TK yourself, so that will give him a 6 movement, 6 square movement for free if he wants to do that. Plus, he's got 3 damage. He's got invulnerable, and he's got a stop. The main copy the original copy has a stop click. When he hits that stop click, then the other copies have to be KO'd. But that's okay. And then the other copies are just 2-click figures, but if you kill them, they score 0 points. So they become a nuisance. And all 3 of them have telekinesis as free. So once per turn for all characters with this power. So and they have 3 damage. So they're dealing 3 damage. So you're getting like a free character. You're getting 2 free characters. Well, not free. You're paying 25 points for them. But, if they're KO'd, your opponent doesn't score anything. And they have an 11 attack, 3 damage with invulnerable. That's really good. And telekinesis. And phasing teleport. And sidestep. So, really great piece from X-Men the Animated Series, and he's only an uncommon. So, and he's got the X-Men team ability too, so you can use that as well. And he's got 7 range. That's insane. Okay, really good Cable, and we always get good cables. There was the Deadpool and the X-Force had an awesome Cable as well, but this one is just really good. Let's take a look. That was number 4. Let's take a look at number 3. You'll probably start guessing what the top 3 are. Super Scroll. Okay, so there is Super Scroll at 100 points. I actually prefer him at 75 points. If you see each of those shape changes there that he has, that's a different starting line for him. By the way, I just want to shout out to because I'm using right now I'm using Clix Nexus for all of these previews, and shout out to Joe Pangrazio who is on Facebook. He's like one of the rules guys that answers all the rules questions, and he also organizes Clix Nexus. I don't know if he has a lot of help with creating Clix Nexus, but whoever is working on Clix Nexus is doing a great job, and that includes Joe Pangrazio. So yeah, great job on Clix Nexus. I'm able to get pictures of each of the figures, and I mean, he's always updating it, so it's a great site to use when you're looking for Heroclix dials and stats. And he also writes good articles. So, yeah, so this is Super Scroll. He's got the Scroll Team ability, which is shape change that succeeds +1 to shape change, basically. So, well, it's a shape change that succeeds on a 6, and if you already have shape change, then it gives +1 to shape change. So, you can see that he has shape change on his first click in any dial that he has. He has 100 points, 75 points, and 50 points. And for each dial, he starts on shape change. So that's a 4, 5, or 6 that he succeeds on shape change, which makes him really good right there. Then he has a trait, because his dial seems interesting. There's no like powers on his dial or anything, but we're going to see why. He has toughness all the way through. And his trait is the powers of the Fantastic Four. At the beginning of your turn, choose 2. Super Scroll has the listed effects until your next turn. Invisible Woman, so he chooses two members of the Fantastic Four and gets those powers. So Invisible Woman has Sidestep, Stealth, and Barrier as free, but only to generate 1 marker, which is really useful. And the Sidestep and the Stealth are also really useful. The Thing gives him Charge, Impervious, and Close Combat Expert. Mr. Fantastic gives him Plasticity, Super Senses, and Giant Reach 4. And then Human Torch gives him Running Shot, Energy Explosion, and range of 6. So if you're going on the attack, you might want to use like one of the attack powers like Running Shot or Charge or Giant Reach 4, depending on your positioning. But if you want to just stay defensive, don't forget he has Shape Change that succeeds on a 4 through 6. But if you pick the Thing, it also gives him Impervious, which gives him another rollout of a 5 or a 6. And then if you pick Mr. Fantastic, that gives him Super Senses. So that'll give him another rollout of a 5 or a 6. So that gives him 3 rollouts. And then, hey, if you have Josiah X, which we were talking about earlier, on the same team as Super Skrull, then that Impervious cannot be penetrated through. So that will automatically reduce 2 damage with the Impervious, and then he'll get the rollout on top of that. So you can't use like Pensai on him or anything like that, or exploit weakness because of Josiah X. And you see that his stats are pretty much the same all the way through the different dials. So I actually like him at either 75 points or 50 points, because he has the same damage and the same attack values. He has 11 attack, 3 damage on all of those dials. So, yeah, great figure, Super Skrull. He's also great because he has Cosmic. If you're playing casual, you could use Frightful 4. And the Frightful 4 is a very fun keyword. Scrolls, if you want to use the Scroll General for leadership and use a bunch of scrolls, that's really good. And Soldier and Warrior. So he's a great soldier piece. That's number 3. Number 2, now we're going to get into the kind of expensive side. Number 2 is Punisher War Machine. Okay, here's Punisher War Machine. He's a 90-point figure or a 60-point figure, but I think most people play him at 90. He has 70. He has 7 movement with no, sorry, 7 range with 2 targets. He has the shield team ability. He has 10 speed, flying with running shot, 12 attack with a special, 18 defense with invincible, and 4 damage with a special. He has the armor, Marvel Knights, shield, and soldier keywords. Real name Frank Castle. He targets through hindering, so he ignores hindering for targeting. He has it. Let's take a look at his other powers there. He has a trait. The war never ends. Colossal stamina. If Punisher War Machine has 2 action tokens, he has free make an attack. So he has colossal stamina, so he can make an attack with two tokens already. Then after that, he can make an attack because he already has 2 action tokens. So he can just attack constantly. You can get so many attacks out of him, and that's really good. He also has energy explosion and knockback. Just in general, he has knockback. So if he close attacks or range attacks, he has knockback, which is really good. Also, energy explosion is also great. His damage power is perplex, but only to target opposing characters. He perplex down the opposing character. Okay. He is invincible. Also, someone that I think might benefit from the Galactus Herald, because he could use protected outwit, but I don't know if he needs it really, because he has a lot of points to spend on. But I think it would be cool to give him the Herald for that purpose. He happens to have the shield team ability and the shield keyword, and if you're playing him with a lot of other shield guys, you can shield up his range from a 7 to like a 8 or a 9 or even a 10, depending on how many shield guys you have. And then you can really hit somebody really far across the board. You could also pump up his damage with the shield team ability. So if somebody else on your team has the shield team ability, like Sharon Carter or Steve Rogers, those really work well with Punisher War Machine. And also another thing that works great with Punisher War Machine, because he has that colossal stamina and he can keep pushing and making attacks, is you can pair him with the Soul Gem, which gives him +1 defense, and it gives him the ability to use steel energy at range. And then he could keep healing up after he pushes. So those are some just really good things that work with Punisher War Machine. He's a great piece, probably why he, on the secondary market, he's like in the hundreds. He's like very, very expensive to procure him, but he's a really good piece. And I like him a lot. Let's take a look at number 1. So that was number 2, and let's take a look at number 1. You'll probably guess who number 1 is. Or what could be better than Punisher War Machine? Here she is, Captain Marvel from Captain America and the Avengers. Okay. What a great piece. I have her on her 150-point dial, but then if you look at Click 4 starts her 95-point dial, which is what most people play her at. At least in competitive. But also, you could play her at 150 competitively, and you could definitely play her at 150 casually. It might be a little bit of a brutal game, though, if you're playing her in casual clicks, because she's very good. She has Avengers keyword, which gives her +1 when she's using a move action. She's got 7 range with 1 target. She's got 12 speed with, or if you're playing her at 95 points, she's got 10 speed with flying and a special, 11 attack or 12 attack, depending on what dial you're using. 150 points, she has 18 defense with impervious. 95 points, she has 18 defense with invulnerable. And then she has 3 or 4 damage, depending, with probability control on her starting click. Her keywords are Alpha Flight, Avengers, Cosmic, Guardians of the Galaxy, Kree, and Soldier. All amazing keywords. And her real name is Carol Danvers, as we all know. She's got the Assembled Avengers trait. Once per turn, when Captain Marvel hits after resolutions, you may roll a d6, 5 through 6, if your force has 3 or more friendly characters with the Avengers keyword. Remove an action token from Captain Marvel, or give an action token to a hit target. If your force has 6 or more, do both. So that's actually really good. A lot of people forget to use that trait, but I think that works well with her on Avengers keyworded teams. Then she has another trait. My cat is not a flurkin. My cat is not a flurkin. Free once per game. Generate a Chewy bystander. So I don't have the Chewy up right now, but the Chewy bystander is let me look for him. I'll bring him up. But let's look at the rest of her abilities first. So then she has a speed power, which is higher, hypersonic speed. When Captain Marvel uses it after resolutions, deal 1 penetrating damage to an opposing character that she moved through. If that character is a vehicle, deal it 3 penetrating damage instead. So she can hypersonic through somebody because she flies, so she can move through characters. She can hypersonic flying through another character, end her movement, make the hypersonic attack. If she hits, she deals 3 damage. Great. Okay. Then after she hits with the hypersonic, then she deals another penetrating damage because she flew through the character. Okay. And then after that, if she wants, she can free action to create a Chewy bystander, and then that Chewy bystander can then make his attack. And the Chewy bystander is no joke. The Chewy bystander can also make an attack. And then if you see the defense power that she has there, keep standing up, stop invincible. Captain Marvel has protected outwit. So yeah, she's got on 150 points. She's got 3 stop clicks, and with invincible, and then at 95 points, she's got 2 stop clicks. And she gets perplexed later on too. So not only does she start with prob, but she gets perplexed later on, and she's got 2 or 3 stop clicks. Really amazing brick of a figure. Protected those stop clicks. Those stop clicks make her entire dial protected outwit because it's capitalized protected outwit. If you were wondering, because normally stop clicks are protected outwit anyway, but because it says capital protected outwit, that means that her entire dial, any of her other powers that are showing are also protected outwit, which makes her just super amazing. She also pairs really well with Josiah X because that eliminates the ability to deal her penetrating damage on her invulnerable or impervious clicks, or even her toughness clicks later on when she gets down there. So Josiah X will really help her. Also, the Galactus Herald would, probably help her. But, the Galactus Herald is awesome anyway. So let's take a look at the Chewy bystander, just so that we can see what he does once you drop him. So here's the Chewy bystander. He's a bystander, so he's only got 1 click. 6 speed with flurry, plasticity, and giant reach 2. Okay, but then he not only does he have flurry and plasticity, which is really good, but then he also has blades, so he can flurry blades, potentially deal 12 damage. Super senses, so he's not the easiest bystander to just kill in 1 shot, unless you poison him or something. And then he also has perplex, so that essentially gives Captain Marvel a perplex. So yeah, that Captain Marvel is number 1 for a reason. She's probably the best piece at 95 points in the game, and she's really good at 150 points also. Let's take a look at the honorable. Well, the honorable mentions. Well, I had Spider-Man 1776, but I said I wasn't really going to go over him because he's giving other people the Spider-Man family keyword instead of he's not really per se I mean, yeah. Well, let's look at him anyway. Let's look at him anyway. So the honorable mentions. So those were the top 11 figures we went over. Honorable mentions. Um, Spider-Man 1776. Here is his 75-point dial, but most people play him at 50, which would start him on Perplex on click 3. Okay. Um, he has Charge, Blades, Claws, Fangs, Toughness, and Perplex on click 3. And on click 1, he has Charge, Blades, Claws, Fangs, Toughness, and Outwit. He has a Spider-Man team ability, which means it's a wild card. He can copy other team abilities. He's got four range. Real name Miguel O'Hara. He moves through elevated and hindering. He has a trait, My Kind of Allies. When establishing theme teams, characters on your starting force with the soldier keyword gain the Spider-Man family keyword. Okay, so that's why I mentioned I did not want to put him on the main list here. But then he also has the call in help from the Spider-Verse trait, which when he hits an opposing character, you can roll a d6. If you roll 3 through 6, you could place another character with the Spider-Man family keyword adjacent to him. Then he also has leadership and super senses, a trait, the general that founded a nation. This is the trait that everybody talks about. Leadership and super senses. Opposing forces that have action total -1, minimum 2, and opposing characters within 6 squares can't use leadership or autonomous. So if you have this guy within 6 squares of your opponent, they can't use leadership, so they get 3 actions, and then they have -1 action total, so now they only have 2 actions, which is highly debated on whether that is a really fun Heroclix mechanic or not. But it's really powerful. So at the moment, this guy is really meta, really competitive. And he's not unique, so you can play more than one of him and give them a -2 action total just by playing 2 of them. And then he has a defense power, which is a stop click. He has a stop click and combat reflexes and toughness. And actually what's insane is that for 75 points, he has 2 stop clicks. So yeah, really good. If I didn't have him as an honorable mention, he would probably be up there in the top 5, maybe number 1 or number 2. Probably number 2 after Captain Marvel. But he's really good. Then let's take a look at my other honorable mention, Steve Rogers. So this is Steve Rogers from Captain America and the Avengers. He's a rare. And he has sidestep, 10 attack, 17 defense with combat reflexes, and 2 damage with perplex. Once per turn, when Steve Rogers hits, after resolutions, you may roll a d6. If your force has 3+, so we've seen that trait, the assembled Avengers trait. Captain Marvel had it. He also has another trait, Living Legend. The first time each game Steve Rogers would be KO'd, instead turn him to his last non-KO click, then roll a d6 and heal him equal to half the result. Protected pulse wave. So he heals up after he gets KO'd. So he's hard to kill. And there's also a sideline character, an ultra chase named Peggy Carter, who's also a soldier, by the way. And she's also an honorable mention here. When Steve Rogers gets KO'd, and then he heals up, then he gets KO'd again, then you can bring Peggy Carter in from your sideline. Peggy Carter comes in and replaces him, and then she gets KO'd, then she heals up, and then she gets KO'd again, and then that's when you finally score the points. So you actually, if you have Peggy Carter on your sideline, the Ultra Chase Peggy Carter from Captain America and the Avengers, if you have her on your sideline, then you have to basically KO Steve Rogers 4 times in order to score points on him. And he has leadership. And then here is the trait that everybody talked about with him. We'll take all of the help we can get if you're worthy. During force construction, you may choose a standard character of 50 points or less. That character loses his printed keywords for the entire game and then gains either the Avengers or Shield keyword. Choose one. So there's all kinds of jokes on the internet about how so and so became an Avenger. Now Vulture is an Avenger. You know, the Skull from Earth X is an Avenger. Batman Prime is an Avenger. Anything that is 50 points or less that is a standard character. So you can't pick like Q or anything like that because he's not a standard character. And you can't pick a Colossal because they're not standard characters. Only standard characters can be chosen. But anything that's 50 points or less that is a standard character will be able to be chosen to be an Avenger or a Shield keyword. One of my favorites is Gardner. You can pick Gardner and make him a Avenger or a Shield keyworded figure. Really good piece. But again, you're playing him for the Avengers or the Shield keyword. You're not playing him for the Soldier keyword. So that's why I have him as an honorable mention. So my last honorable mention is, I was gonna put him on the list, but I like him, but a lot of people are not using him right now. He just seems fun for like casual play. I don't think he's extremely competitive, but I think he seems fun. Is Taskmaster, the Chase Taskmaster from Black Widow movie Gravity Feed. So here's the Chase Taskmaster. There's no picture for him, but that's okay. He looks like the Taskmaster from the Marvel movie that hasn't come out yet. And he is 100 points. He has the wild card, team player, team ability, six range with single target. He moves and targets through hindering. He's got the assassin, soldier, and task force keywords. His real name is Tony Masters, of course. His trait, Nice Trick, Mind if I Steal It. When an opposing character targets Taskmaster with an attack, after resolutions, you may choose a standard speed or attack or damage power that character can use. Taskmaster can use the chosen power until he chooses again. When Taskmaster attacks a single character, modify his attack +1 for each standard power he can use that the targeted character can also use. I found that to be an interesting trait. So he can like kind of pick powers that your opponent uses if your opponent attacks him. Then he also has a wealth of powers himself. He's got running shot, sidestep, and stealth, which makes him pretty mobile, and he can shoot pretty. He's a good range piece. He has for defense. He has shape change. Super senses, toughness, and when Taskmaster is targeted by an attack, modify his defense +1 for each standard power that he can use that the attacking character can also use. So he's probably getting to be a 19 or a 20 defense against most characters, and then he not only that, but he has a 12 attack with precision strike, and he's got perplex with 3 damage. So really good stats. He's a 100-point piece, so I think he might be a little easy to take down, but I think he's going to be definitely a fun piece to play at home casually. So that's my last honorable mention. We'll go back to Uncle Sam here. Just to show him on the video. And thanks everybody for watching Coffee and Clicks. This has been a review of the top 11 soldiers for Veterans Day, the November 11th, which is Veterans Day. This has been a review of the top 11 soldiers. Please, if you enjoy my content, don't forget to like and subscribe. We are at 94 subscribers right now, and we are looking to hit 100. I really appreciate all the support and the help. In the description of this video, I will post my link tree, which gives you media links to all of my media sources like Facebook and Discord, Patreon, and this channel, the YouTube channel. So don't forget to like and subscribe. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Don't forget, wake up and smell the clicks. Thanks, everybody.